The average lifespan of a person is 4,000 weeks or 28,000 days approximately. And if you're someone like me who's 40, then you've already spent 15,000 days of your life. Now, irrespective of your age, how do we make the rest of our lives the best of our lives? Let's talk about that. For years, I followed the script: graduate from college, get a good job, career progression, get married, etc. etc. You get the picture. But it was only in my late 30s that I realized that I was living a life of lie. I was doing a lot of things to please others or to fit into the society, rather than creating my own path and doing the things that truly make me happy. Every time we try and do something that's contrary to the society, be it quit a good job, start a risky business, not get married at the right age, we are questioned by the people around us and asked that what if we fail? What if it doesn't work out? But rarely do people ask what if it actually works out. So today, I want to share a few things with you that help me build a happier and a more fulfilling life, and strategies that can help you live a life without regrets. If you're part of this amazing community, then welcome back. And if you're new to the channel, then welcome. Hi, I'm Rakshit. I quit my corporate job, moved out of a big city to the hills to live my dream life. And now I help people to live a more intentional life through my videos. Now we all have the same 24 hours in a day, but the quality of those hours depends on how you spend your time and whom you spend it with, which is not necessarily correlated with the amount of money that we have. Which brings me to the first point. It's important to know that what's your definition of a life well lived. Now this can change in various phases of our lives as we evolve, but a lot of us tend to postpone things that give us joy and happiness and say that I'll do it one day, that thing can wait while life passes by. Now think about it. If you're on your deathbed at the age of 80 or 90, will you think about that report that you had submitted by working till late in the office, or those infinite reels that you would scroll through, or the time that you'd spend with your loved ones and reliving those cherished memories? Priorities in life get very clear when you look at life from that lens. For me, what was more important than money was spending time in nature, spending time with the people who matter in my life, owning my time, and having the flexibility to travel and do meaningful work. That is my definition of a dream life. I get up on most days watching a beautiful sunrise, and I would not trade that for any amount of money. If you read about the reflections of people who are very near to their death, you get some great insights on life. Steve Jobs, in his final message, reflected on what truly matters in life. It wasn't the billions that he had made or the success that he had achieved. It was the realization that time, health, and relationships are what define a life well lived. Which brings me to the second point. At some point in our lives, we all lose a loved one. It's in that moment that we wish that we'd spent more time with that person. It could be a parent, a sibling, a partner, a friend. We get so caught up in the rat race that we forget to prioritize what actually matters. I lost my grandmother a few years ago, and I could not visit her in the final 2 years of her life. And that's a regret I'll carry forever. People often say they don't have the time, and that's the biggest lie. We have the same 24 hours that Albert Einstein, Isaac Newton, Abraham Lincoln had. It all boils down to priorities at the end of the day. A World Economic Forum study based on a US time use data shows how a social circle shifts with age. In childhood and teens, you spend most of your time with family and friends. In your 20s to up to early 40s, time with a partner, children, and co-workers becomes much more prominent. From about 40 to 60 and beyond, time with co-workers drops as retirement approaches, and time spent alone gradually increases. When I was younger, I used to think that money is the solution to all the problems in life. But as I grew older, I realized that there are a lot of millionaires and billionaires out there who are not happy. As Jim Carrey once said, I wish everyone could get rich and famous so that they can see it's not the answer. So after you've built that nice house, traveled to all those nice places, seen those beautiful sunsets, ticked off the things on your bucket list, and done some of those things that money can buy, you will still need a purpose to keep going in life. Things that make you look forward to the next morning. As Mark Twain once said, the two most important days in your life are the day when you were born and the day you find out why. Now this purpose can again evolve as we age in life. You might want to check out this video on how to find your purpose, which resonated with a lot of people. So do introspect on finding your purpose in life. Now the next point is simple, but most people tend to ignore it even when they know about it. Some things in life have a chain reaction. For example, if you're healthy, you're better at your work. You are able to take better care of your loved ones, pursue your hobbies, and so on. So, some habits compound into better experiences in our lifetime. In the words of Albert Einstein, compound interest is the eighth wonder in the world. He who understands it earns it. He who doesn't pays it. Our relationship with a partner, for example, gets better with time provided we invest in the relationship. Now, the same logic works with our skill and knowledge. These all compound over time, and so does money. But money, I feel, is a byproduct of doing all the above things right. In my experience, people who obsess about money are the actual ones who never escape the rat race. So, investing in daily habits towards your health, relationships, and personal growth that compound during lifetime improves the quality of our lives. Once you've defined your ideal life, you should also define what doesn't belong in it. Toxic people, drama, negativity, habits that drain your peace, let them go. As Hans Hoffman once said, the ability to simplify means to eliminate the unnecessary so that the necessary may speak. There are enough distractions in this noisy world. And if we're able to channelize our energy and effort in the right direction, then we can certainly improve the quality of our lives. So when you're making that to-do list, prioritize and eliminate the noise and distractions. Your energy is your most valuable currency. Don't waste it on things that don't align with your vision. Which brings me to the next point. In the words of Anne Lamott, almost everything will work again if you unplug it for a few minutes, including you. We live in an attention economy. Everything's fighting for a piece of our focus. In the hills, I've learned to slow down. I do a digital detox once a week. No phone, no laptop, no TV. Even small things like not checking my phone for the first 1 hour when I get up changes everything. These small pauses give clarity and calm, something that no device can offer. Now, I'm not sure if you've thought about this last point because sometimes we feel that our lives are infinite. Someday, we'll all leave this planet. But what we leave behind lives on through people, art, words, and actions. Your legacy is every life you've touched. Whether it's your children, your work, or your kindness, something that you do today will echo beyond you. So decide what that legacy will be and start aligning your life towards it. So if you've been living on autopilot, stop. This life, this precious 4,000 weeks is a gift. You have the power to shape it, to live it intentionally, and to make it count. So what's your definition of a life well lived? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And join this community of people choosing meaning over mindless routine. Until next time, stay happy, stay blessed, and spend your time wisely.